I'm Jason UFC, and today we have a story about UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev. Next opponent has been revealed by fellow lightweight contender following a UFC meeting. This is interesting. UFC lightweight contender Beneil Dariush alleges the promotion told him who Islam Makhachev next opponent will be during a recent contracts talk. Islam Makhachev last defended his UFC lightweight contender, his lightweight championship earlier this year at UFC 284 in February. He earned a unanimous decision victory over Alexander Volkanovski. An immediate rematch with Volkanovski appears to be off the table for Makhachev, at least for the time being, obviously. In the meantime, he has a slew of hungry lightweight contenders ready to challenge him for the title. One such contender is Beneil Dariush, who has won 8 straight. Many have called for Beneil Dariush to get the next lightweight title shot, but it appears that it won't be the case for Beneil Dariush's recent meeting with UFC President Dana White and the UFC matchmakers. Beneil Dariush spills the beans regarding Islam Makhachev's next title defense. This is interesting. During a recent interview with Submission Radio, Beneil Dariush alleges that Dustin Poirier, how about that, is the next title challenger for Islam Makhachev. That makes sense. I brought it up and they mentioned pushing the fight back to June. I brought it up and they mentioned pushing the fight back to June 10th. The fight he's talking about is between himself and Charles Oliveira. And Beneil Dariush said, and I was like, what if he doesn't show up again? And I said, why don't I face Islam Makhachev in July or August or even earlier if he's available? And they told me he has to be on the October he has to be on the October card, and they said Dustin Poirier is the #1 contender and that he's ahead of me. Wow, how about that? If Beneil's Dariush claims prove to be true, Poirier will get his third lightweight title shot in 4 years. He most recently defeated Michael Chandler at UFC 281 last November, after falling to Charles Oliveira for the title at UFC 269. Poirier's next assignment had been unclear since the victory over Chandler. There are a series of fascinating matchups for the Louisiana Star, including a rematch with Justin Gaethje. Let me see. Is there anything else? No, there's nothing else we have to go into. This seems to make the most sense. I don't know. I'm an MMA casual, so I can't remember every single fight in the world. I'm trying to figure out, did Poirier fight Conor McGregor first before he fought Charles Oliveira? Did he fight Charles Oliveira after he fought Conor McGregor? I'm assuming that he fought Charles Oliveira after he fought Conor McGregor. So it may be that Dustin Poirier may be on a 1-fight win streak. Right? If that's true, it's not too great with Beneil Dariush being on a 8-fight win streak. With Dustin Poirier already having 2 titleship contenders matches. He won the interim title, but he already lost to for the undisputed belt. He lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov, and then he recently lost to Charles Oliveira. So it's not, I don't really understand why Dustin Poirier would get the title fight over Beneil Dariush, but maybe it's just timing. It seems to me like if they were thinking about that, that's just really, there was no options. If that's what they were thinking about, I would say, hey, maybe make Beneil Dariush and Dustin Poirier fight for number one contendership. You know, when Charles Oliveira was fighting Beneil Dariush at UFC 288, it seems like everybody was thinking that was a number one contendership fight, and the winner of that would fight Islam Makhachev in October. But from what Beneil Dariush is saying is that, you know, the winner of that fight won't get a title shot this year, right? You know, if Charles Oliveira defeats Beneil Dariush, it doesn't look like he's going to be a number one contender. It looks like it'll be Dustin Poirier. You know, after Justin Gaethje's win over Rafael Fiziev, he was calling out Dustin Poirier. He said he wanted to get that match, but it looks like, at least according to Beneil Dariush, and it does seem like that would make some sense. You did see Dustin Poirier recently make his debut as a UFC analyst. You know, okay, that helps. That probably helps a little bit. Get your foot in the door. I mean, I don't think it really helps, and I'm just joking. But, you know, it does look good, like, you know, to have a champion, you know, as an analyst doing really good promotion for the UFC. So, I don't, you know, maybe it seems like at UFC 288, they may make that announcement because of the Charles Oliveira and Beneil Dariush fight being pushed back to UFC 289. Excuse me. Or maybe the UFC waits until UFC 289 and the winner of that fight, you know, if it's super impressive, if it's like one round, maybe they could still impress, you know, and still get the title fight, you know, the winner of Beneil Dariush versus Charles Oliveira. But so far, the UFC has not announced Dustin Poirier versus Islam Makhachev for the October card. So, but Beneil Dariush, the first one, you know, he's in meetings with UFC. I don't know if they're going to be a little bit pissed off at him for coming out with this information, if it's true, but we'll see. But let me know, what do you think about this story? Do you think Dustin Poirier deserves the number one contendership fight versus Islam Makhachev, being only on a one-fight win streak versus Michael Chandler? Or do you think the winner of Beneil Dariush versus Charles Oliveira deserve the title? I would say that, to me, it seems like it would be a little bit crazy for both fighters. If Beneil Dariush defeats Charles Oliveira and then Dustin Poirier gets a title shot before Beneil Dariush, Charles Oliveira defeated Dustin Poirier, right? And now Beneil Dariush has to wait for Dustin. Like, that doesn't make sense. And then Charles Oliveira, if he defeats Beneil Dariush is like on a 9-fight win streak. Charles Oliveira defeated Dustin Poirier. Why should he have to wait behind Dustin Poirier to get a title shot? It just seems like a mess at this point. You know, it seems like there's a lot going on with the UFC lightweight division. It seems like a lot of fighters are doing this, at least in the UFC top 5, where it's like, hey, you know what? You get a title shot, you lose the title fight, you fight one time, you get one win, and then you go right back into another title shot. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. It's just it's something, you know, I'm not too crazy about the title picture in the UFC lightweight division at the moment. I'm not crazy about this, but let me know your opinion of this story. Do you think Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier is next? Do you think the winner of Beneil Dariush and Charles Oliveira should fight Islam Makhachev, or do you have another option for Islam Makhachev next title defense? I'm Jason, UFC. Today we had a story about Beneil, Islam UFC lightweight champion Beneil Islam Makhachev. Next opponent may be Dustin Poirier, according to Beneil Dariush. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the $1 donation button, and please tune in to the next video on this channel. Thanks a million for watching.